Yeah, I am too. We're ready right now. I'll make a motion to bring the meeting to order today. Anybody second it?
I don't have to, just say
I don't have to.
it's
It's called the meeting to order.
I'm contacting the owner of the company.
All right, let's see. Not the only one we're really missing is Michael. I don't know what.
Yeah,
Robin, is
Robin is out. We know she
And that's not what this is.
here, but last time she was on Michael's
Too long,
thing.
she's got
We
it.
do have quorum.
We still have quorum, but
I'm usually the one that ditch out.
we're missing a couple.
Alright,
But Charlie's here. He's right here.
do we have a motion to approve the last minutes?
You all get a copy of them?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Didn't get mine or didn't see it yet. I'm sure it's okay.
Yeah, it was on email, I got a copy here.
2 o'clock today or somewhere in there?
Yeah, it was.
It's true, I have bought them all, don't worry about it.
You wanna read them or?
Yeah,
no?
I can't.
Oh, I've stopped
I
trying.
Okay.
Meeting to order, please. We're gonna have the reading of the minutes.
Okay, I'm gonna read the minutes. Okay, this is from Thursday, May the 19th at 6 p.m. The meeting was called to order by President EJ at 6 p.m. All the board members were here. Two of them, Robin and Charlie, were here by phone. It was determined a quorum was present. The minutes for April 2022 were read by the secretary. A motion was made and seconded to accept the minutes as read, and it passed. New business. Fining committee. Nancy Son volunteered to help establish a committee of at least 3 volunteers. Board members and their family members cannot be on this committee. Rules and regulations. It was discussed that the rules and regulations have not been updated since 2016. E.J. Potter made a motion to select Roxy Clatt as chairman of a new, wait a minute, I got that wrong. I got new fining committee. That's not correct. No, she was the fining
Rules
committee.
and regulations.
Oh, okay, the new Rules and Regulations Committee, with 1 volunteer from each cluster. The motion was seconded by Edna Paul, and the motion passed. This committee will be made up of non-board members, 1 volunteer from each cluster. The committee will make recommendations to the board for additions and changes. It was determined that a condensed version of the rules also needed to be created. Implementation of new vehicle and parking rules enforcement. Shanna Macri will be mailing information to all owners concerning the assignment of new parking stickers and enforcement of parking rules. Cluster reports. Cluster 1. Nancy reported completion of jetting to pipes. Some cast iron pipes were replaced and repaired. Turner Pest was summoned for rodents in the attic. Major structural damage was done to units 6244 and 6246 when a vehicle ran into the building. An engineer will be needed to assess that damage, and Shanna asked for a copy of the incident report. Cluster 2. EJ reported there are 2 construction jobs waiting to be done. The first to replace decking and stairways, which will need a special assessment to Cluster 2 owners to help pay for the work. And the second job is for another deck repair for which a permit and a final price are needed. He was reminded by a Cluster 2 owner that a door repair is needed for an attached meter shed. Cluster 3, Robin reported she is waiting for estimates to repair a leaking roof and another to repair a stairway. Cluster 4, Mike questioned how occupancy rules are applied to purchase rental applications. Cluster 5, Charlie reported complete spectrum will start repairs on the upper deck next week. He questioned Shanna about procedures needed for delinquent assessment payments. Cluster 6, no report. A motion to adjourn the meeting was made by Mike, seconded by Charlie, and it passed. The meeting was adjourned at 7:30 p.m. Respectfully submitted, Edna.
Nancy made a motion to approve the minutes as read. Is there a second?
No, I'm going to make a correction. I call it a finding committee and it's a rules, so I will make a correction to it.
There is a finding committee.
Yes.
Yeah, I know, but that was the first thing, but we're also doing the rules and regulations. So.
Alright, so motion to approve as corrected in a second. TJ second, all in favor? Opposed? Ayes have it.
I had a question, but now I can't see it. I guess I did buy on that one. That was just something minor anyways. Okay, so let's moving right along, right? So cluster and master report. So cluster one, you got your
It's been quiet for a couple of weeks. It's actually been peaceful.
no
with the
crashes
exception-
into the wall?
No more, not since May 14th. I haven't had much of anything that has to be fixed other than one resident that just doesn't want to comply with anything. And they dropped glass off their balcony and broke all over the grass, trying to pick up all those little shards of glass. And the pieces are
It's
really.
that same one we were talking about
Yeah,
one time, right?
it is, and but trying to pick them up is really bad, and there are people who walk around back there barefoot. And so I'm concerned, and I told them right out, I said, if somebody has a medical bill, having to get glass removed or stitches or something like that, I said, I'm gonna send them to you. Because we shouldn't be liable for that when he's the one that did it.
Sure, exactly.
I don't know how that would
In
work.
Case, but did you do the, Shannon can start the process of, you got letters for just about everything. I don't
Right.
know
I'll
about the
give you
bottles
yours.
off.
Yeah, definitely give me if you have photos, I love photos, we can put them right in the letter.
Any documentation
okay.
and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. To get it started. I mean, that's
Oh,
just the
that's
first
good.
step.
The photos is a good idea, I didn't think of that, that's fine.
But it gets the process going at least,
Yes.
because you can't just.
And that's fine.
That's it?
Yeah,
Wow.
there hasn't been much of anything else
Okay, good.
unless you wanna know about the car hitting the building.
Again, I think we did that.
That's not gonna be coming, the engineer from the city of Bradenton said he is running a minimum of 6 weeks behind on doing his drawings, and the contractor cannot begin the repairs until the drawings are completed that show them what they have to do. And so that's where we're sitting with that one, we're just waiting, and until that comes through, Norman has been sleeping at his neighbors.
So your engineering company is actually from the city then?
It's the city of Bradenton guy. So.
Because there's a bunch of engineering companies that do
Different
that,
firms.
I was just curious who was doing it.
Yeah,
They were
this
6
is
weeks
one of the
apart.
guys from the city of Bradenton, and, so I would assume that he knows his stuff. If
Well, he
he
probably
works
knows,
for the
I'm just
city.
curious about the 6 weeks. I mean,
I'm just
it's
curious
usually a
about
wait
if
for
and when
sure.
he's gonna charge us,
I think it's,
you know, for that,
less.
'cause I don't know.
Well, I'm about to spend 600 on one, basically.
A civil engineer or
Like an
a
engineer.
structural,
Yeah.
okay,
So,
600 isn't bad.
the
Could be
6 week
worse.
wait, especially if somebody's not being able to live there for a long time.
Yeah.
Well, he is living there in the day, because Judy gave him a 5,000 BTU air conditioner to put in his kitchen window. And, I mean, that's the only form of air conditioning that he has.
I can
He
only
keeps the
cover
house at
this.
about
I can only
78,
cover that.
and that's tolerable
Her
for him.
insurance is gonna pay for it.
But at
I
night
don't
he
think
goes
they'll
over
cover
to
it all.
Bud's and sleeps at Bud's house because they have the central air running, and it's a lot more comfortable for him, so.
So it's a
that's-
waiting game on that one.
It is, there's nothing we can do until they do something with it.
So, cluster 2, that would be me. I've got 2 biggies here, but I don't know which one to break the bad news first. First, I just need money.
Right.
And not for what you're thinking. This is
Oh,
different
no.
money. This is, repairs for water intrusion, again, on a second floor job that's, leaking around the window, at least, the bedroom window, if not more. I was over there the other night. You know how we've had these 5-minute rains, but they've been pretty heavy. And I could see it might even be coming from the ceiling part and then down, and eventually it's gonna work its way into the downstairs unit if it hasn't already. So, this money I need, I got the estimate Monday for the interior part, it's $2,575, so a little over my pay grade. I do have 4,000 in the pot now to cover even that, and that's only, well, the money we have received so far, only like 40%, and I only used 20%, so I should be covered as far as having the money, right? You get a quickie there, right?
Yep, I got your financial here. It looks like you have a lot of, money in your building repairs.
Repairs, right.
And you've got money in the bank account, so you could definitely cover it.
I don't even know what that bank account thing is. I got more money than I
Well,
thought. What is that?
You've got, in your operating account, you've got 35.5.
Now, don't tell me about that, I'll spend it probably.
Yeah.
Or something will.
So if I can, would I have to make a motion to get money?
Yep.
I make a motion to give me $2,500, please. 2,000. Well, that's an estimate, 2,575, you know, it's.
Second to the motion?
I'll second it.
Nancy? All in favor?
So I'll call it,
Motion passes.
I'll call them tomorrow then and say, go for it.
Who is that with?
That's going to, Expert Water. They actually, do a lot of work. They started with just water removal, that's why they got that name, but now they're doing pretty much any construction, everybody needs something done. They've been so far so good to me.
They did a good job on one of
Yeah.
ours.
So are they gonna actually fix where the water came in?
They'll take out that whole section of wall that they need to around the window, and even up in the ceiling now if they have to, and rebuild. Probably, we did one just exactly like it on the north side, and they actually had to rebuild the frame, it was all rotted out. They'll do that, that's part of the
Okay.
estimate.
Oh, okay, that's a pretty good estimate for that then.
Well, that's just the interior.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
once they
yeah.
find out, don't forget, that's the interior part. The leaks are coming from the outside.
Well, that's what I meant, are those.
Now,
things-
they'll have,
yeah.
once they see what's happening inside, he told me, once they can squirt, do their pressure tests and all that stuff, then they'll know what to do on the outside, that'll be more money for
Oh,
that,
okay.
I'm sure. Or at least this will get us started. He couldn't give me an estimate for both, I don't know exactly why, but he just wanted to see first the inside. Okay, then the second, now is the biggie, and I don't know how many people are here from cluster 2, I think it's just me. But, I think I need to make this an announcement or whatever to get it in the minutes, right, Shannon? Because
Yeah.
we have to,
Why don't we get approval to, first of all, apply for a loan?
I thought we were doing that, apply for it. We got the paperwork a long
Right,
time ago.
yeah, we got the paperwork, but, I mean, from the board, so it's in the minutes.
So we need to approve applying for a loan.
We'll get it in the minutes, yeah,
Yeah.
because it's over the threshold,
Over the,
yeah.
well, it's probably over. So this is for like $34,000.
Right,
So I need to make a motion to
and then
apply to the bank for a loan.
right,
Okay, I'm behind on that, I thought that part was
well,
underway.
and then we're gonna send out a notice to all your owners after you get approval from the board to do the special assessment.
But what comes first here? We have to know we have a loan, so that we know how much the bank is gonna charge us, because we're using ballpark figures here now.
Right,
Right? So ballpark figures were like $31,480 for the job. So we know we need that much. We don't know how much a bank loan is gonna
With the
cost
per-
us in interest, but it's gonna be something more. So I just, in ballpark, when I sent to you,
right,
said $34,000, gives us a couple $1,000 to play with. And it would be $1,000, we got
Yeah, I saw
34
that.
residents, 34 owners, so it'd be $1,000 apiece for, if we do 10 months,
right,
right?
yep.
Well, so what are we putting into the minutes to get
Well, you're gonna
this
get approval
started?
from the board to first apply for the loan, so you can go ahead and finish that process up. and then we're gonna send out for a special assessment to the owners.
Okay, so
Do you
we've
want
done
that in
everything
minutes?
here
Yeah,
that we
for
need
special
to do, right?
assessment?
Yeah, and I'll second it.
EJ?
But wait a second, though.
Okay.
Okay, there's a ton of stuff on that thing that I had no clue.
Oh, yeah, we can get through that, that's not a big deal.
Remember I told you, well, I
Yeah.
don't know if you
Yeah,
saw it.
I got
the
it
address.
all.
I know the address here, and that's about the bank is like on all kinds of stuff.
What's your loan for?
Oh, it's for replacing a deck and stairs. The whole, not just band-aiding, but taking the old one out and putting a new one in.
Is that one set?
One set of stairs.
Well, but there's-
Well, two landings and all that
Yeah.
concrete somebody put up there.
How many units does that
Um,
affect?
Well, it affects the three, of course,
Yeah,
upstairs.
upstairs. Right.
They'll have to move out for the guy, the contractor told me 10 days. I think he's allowing a little more time than he needs, but it's gonna be some amount of time.
Sure.
5 days or 4, I don't know. Downstairs, they can probably, still get in and out while they're doing this. It's a big job, and the permit, by the way, we got the permit finally. The engineering reports and all that good stuff. It's not forever, it's a limited time on that.
Right.
You know how long these bank loan things, once you get it in, how long it takes?
It shouldn't take that long, well, it took the guy forever to get back to me, but it shouldn't take that long.
So before the next meeting though, we can email the residents in the cluster that you're gonna be hit for $100 a month extra after.
Well, I have to actually, that has to go out US Post.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll mail out a meeting for all of your cluster 2 owners, that we're gonna have a meeting, I have to give them 14-day notice, that, for consideration of the special assessment.
So we have to have a meeting of cluster 2, right?
Cluster 2, yes.
You'll
Yes.
be in on that. too.
Yep, and that's when you're gonna tell them and make the motion to go ahead and assess the special assessment, that way you can answer all their questions, tell them what the terms are. Once that is ordered, then we order the
Then you
coupons
do
from
the
the
then you
bank,
do, okay.
and then,
I think I got it, but
Is that
now the
just one
first thing
set of
is the
stairs?
loan.
Yeah. Illegal.
One set of stairs?
Yeah, 2 landings. The deck, not just the
It's a
stairs,
big
that,
one.
Janet, I mean the whole deck up there.
Yes, and
Fine.
that too.
Right.
Charlie had
I
something
mean,
done,
we
I
didn't
thought the
have
other
that,
day.
ours wasn't that.
When you replace the whole thing, I remember Petra didn't replace the whole thing though, right? She
On the
rebuilt some
backside,
stuff.
it looks like everything up there is new.
Yeah.
Everything got replaced, other than, what are you talking about the landing, the cement?
Yes.
That's being ripped down?
Yes.
Okay, that was not ripped down on ours.
See,
But all
that-
the wood,
That's really the whole problem, got down to that concrete being up there, whoever, I don't know how that got up there, but a bunch of them are like that. But
Well, yeah,
they
we
put
have
that on a
concrete.
wood frame, now the wood is going away and the deck's coming down, so they gotta hammer all that out, and it's a little bit tricky too, the way that deck attaches to the, they gotta go in under the unit then, or into the unit so far, to get, it's a.
but the concrete is bad? I mean,
Well, the
concrete doesn't
concrete,
go
it is bad, actually, it's cracked too, but that's not the point, you can't replace all the wood and save the concrete, you know what I mean? I wouldn't save it anyway, we need to get that out of there.
So you're not putting concrete back?
No way,
Oh, okay. Wow.
because then you end up with the same problem somewhere down the line.
Do you have more sets of stairs that are gonna need to be done down
Not to
below?
be replaced,
Okay,
but work,
okay.
which by the way, that one is, the north side, we're doing some repairs there, but not replacing the whole thing. We are still waiting for the permit on that one.
Okay.
So, anyways, Shannon, so the loan comes first.
yeah, and then we'll send out the 14-day notice. So where are we, Edna, do we have a motion and a second for the,
Yes, he made the motion, and I seconded,
okay,
and,
did we vote?
Let's see.
All were in favor?
okay, I've got EJ made motion for the loan application for $34,000 to repair the stairs to 3 units. Okay, and then I've got Edna
And
second,
to make sure it's
Yeah,
not
okay.
upstairs.
Okay, and the seconded, and so now we need a vote.
All in favor?
Charlotte, thank you.
All right, the ayes have it, motion passed.
TJ, who's doing the work?
Island property.
That's
Island property.
That's a big job, that's why I was wondering if you needed.
Well, I had the three
So,
estimates.
do we need to
Okay.
do minutes about the special assessment?
Yes, I've got on here, cluster two owners will need to meet to consider
The
the
special.
special assessment.
Yep,
They suck.
date to be determined.
Okay.
Well, we can do,
Yeah,
drinking
that's how we
buddy.
got
2
in.
weeks or something, we need to,
Yep,
we can do it.
well, it's gotta be a 14-day notice, so.
But this thing, the meeting is just to let them know, is that starts the 14 days?
When I mail, the day it goes in the mail, we'll start the 14-day
Oh.
notice. So 2 weeks notice, then we post it 2 weeks for cluster two only.
And then they have to be out of their place for 10 days?
I'm hoping not 10, but whatever it takes, you know. I don't think it's 10. I think he tried to, he's covering himself just in case. It's a big job.
Turd out and see.
They gotta bring those big dumpsters in, those big
Something to them about.
dumpsters, I guess, in there, and put them somewhere, all that stuff out just for concrete. Now, just be curious,
They mostly don't
let's
have
say we
lights.
get 34,000,
They
get the
don't
loan,
hire
all
somebody
that,
else.
it comes in at 32. Do we get money back?
Yeah.
You could give the money back, or you could save it for another
They
stair
put up a
project.
gutter on the back.
If you're gonna have another one,
South side.
Even if
We'll
they're
talk
less
about
than,
that
later.
even if it's less than concrete.
They attached it
Because
to
I
the
mean-
board.
The whole job,
And
if
when we
it came
got-
in
and
under
then they
what
didn't
we
have
collected
council.
from everything,
Then like,
but you
You
have
got a
to
little
mark
extra
it
money
forward.
than to put it toward,
So
the
the
next
towards-
time around.
We'll deal with that
They
later.
did the same
because you
thing.
figure the estimate and, you know, with the price increases and all the jobs, you know,
And a
are,
couple of them
figure
they
an
go
overage,
back.
you know.
Of course. He said it could go over, could go under, I've never seen one go under.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, so those two items are taken care of. Anything else for cluster two?
No, that's it, you want, that? Should I do the master while we're at it?
Yes, I think so.
Master
Yeah.
report, Dan, listen in on this one.
EJ.
So you might have not, oh, yeah, good.
Real quick,
Yeah.
on your project with island maintenance, why are you choosing them? I've dealt with them before, and a lot of people have, but they couldn't even put up a gutter on our cluster without it falling down with the rain.
Well, you know, it's just one of those things, we got the 3 estimates from 3 different companies a long time ago, before COVID, really. Now all the prices have gone up.
True.
I actually would not have gone with them first 2 years ago. But now, because of the price went up, gosh, $10,000 almost. And I've used them, I'm pretty familiar with this guy even by now. I talk to him all the time, and he's done work for me too, and done pretty good. So, you know, it's like this, right?
Good luck.
Do you have any kind of warranty on the work that he does?
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean,
Bond.
they're-
So,
they gotta
like
get
that.
something.
Inspection.
All right.
Okay, master
Continue.
report. And you might have wondered, anybody that walking in might have wondered about all those cones out there, right? What's going on? Well, there was a little bit of a leak coming up on collecting water on the sidewalk there a week or so ago, 2 weeks maybe. And it was like, where's that water coming from? Well, we thought, Jesus and I thought probably it was a sprinkler pipe, you know, something to do with the sprinkler system. Well, when he got to it, to dig out under there to fix a sprinkler, it's not a sprinkler even there, and no pipe is even down as far as he went. So it's like, okay, it's coming from under that sidewalk somewhere. You can actually, now you can get in that hole and look back into it. You can see water coming, but you can't, there's no pipe there. So, company named Sleuth, they do leak detection. They don't repair anything, but they got these instruments to find pipes and leaks and stuff underground, 18 inches or so. So he's coming tomorrow to see if he can tell us where the leak is, and then Jesus can even take out that concrete. He's even done concrete work before, so we don't have to go out even to, if we have to take that sidewalk out, he can put it back in when they get done, so that'll help out a little bit. But, depends really what they tell us tomorrow about where, if they can even find, it's just a little leak, but
Cool.
that means it's underground somewhere, that's not good.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's coming from Bud's place.
He knows about, we're in hurricane season now, started this month, I guess. I don't think we'll get, I guess the worst month is September, but Jesus is aware, and pretty soon he'll start trimming the trees again before we get a hurricane, we hope. So you may see him out there. We should do pretty good this year in all your budgets, because it shouldn't be as much as it might be the same as it was last year. He did them last year for an insane price, because Michael had started him off at like $13 a tree. He's not gonna do it for $13 this year, I think. He lost his shirt on that one, but anyhow, that's in the works, so hurricanes and trees and all that, we can consider that's gonna be done. Okay. That's it for master that I have, and cluster two.
Alright, so
Good.
3 is not here,
Three
4 is
is-
not here, so cluster 5, Charlie?
Charlie.
Okay, we completed the deck job on the north side for $8,800, and, I had some people looking at it, they feel it's a good job, and, so we're very satisfied with the quick spectrum, which now is kind of split, so you have to be careful who you're dealing with there. So anyway, that's good news. Shayna, how are we doing on the arrears? I see it's up to $4,500 on this one property.
Well, it was sent to the attorney, so I can check with them. I didn't check with them yet, but I can check with them.
Okay, this goes on month after month after month. I'm, pretty happy with what's going on. So,
Yeah, I even had it on my list here to ask about the delinquency in cluster 5, because we talked about it last week.
Right, and we had to, there's a waiting period. I had to send them another notice as the attorney asked me, and then there's a waiting period, so I'm assuming they're gonna be placing a lien on it soon, because the time should be running out.
So, lien on it.
I wonder if I could actually get copies of what the attorney's doing so I can actually see that something's being done on it.
Okay, I can ask them to send you things.
Okay.
Sure.
I guess other than that, the parking, are we gonna talk about parking a little later?
Yes.
Okay, so I think I'm done. Just want to thank Bill for stepping in and working on the parking situation. I know it's a hassle, but I want to thank him for that. And also, Janet is also helping out with that, so thanks to both of them. I'm done.
Good, appreciate it. Okay. Yeah, Bill's been running around here like the head with his chicken cut off, because he got caught kind of in the middle of this thing.
chicken with his head cut off.
No, a head with his chicken cut off.
EJ, can I say something too regarding cluster 5? I just wanted, I don't know if Charlie really knows, but I want to make sure too, to thank you and Jesus for cutting back those trees that are over there that were along the fence. Because they were definitely going to break our fence.
Right.
And so I asked you and Jesus, and he came there and cleaned all that out with the firecrackers, bushes, and cut those trees back. So that made a big difference, and I don't know if Charlie was aware that we did that.
Oh, okay.
I'm aware of it because they tried to charge us, but I got it back to the master, so,
Yeah.
but thanks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, actually, unfortunately, it didn't, we were hoping that after you got the weight of those limbs and stuff, the fence might come back a little bit, but it didn't.
It
much.
did. No, it
A little
really
bit,
did
it?
come back some. I mean, yes, it still bows a little bit, but it's not bowing nearly as much as it was.
Okay, good. Okay, that was 5. Ed, and cluster 6.
I really don't have anything to report.
Okay.
I have, the guy from Florida Painting did come out, and we went over the colors and verified the colors that are to be used. And so now I'm just waiting for Sherway Painting to set a date, and right now he thinks it may be the end of July.
Oh,
So other than that,
Yeah, we were talking about last time, or one time, we were saying, gosh, that thing, what's up with that?
Yeah.
So it's still, they're still doing stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a long way to even to paint
It
now,
is.
isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So that's it, gosh.
Report from Rules and Regulations Committee.
Well, Robin's not here, but I can say that, the Rules and Regulations Committee report, not really a report because, but, we did learn something that maybe we can, do something different on the next committee. Some of our committee members, and including Robin, but at least Robin can communicate usually. She knows to use Zoom and whatnot, but some of her members who went up north or out west or wherever they went, don't use Zoom or don't know about Zoom, so they want to pick it back up in the fall when they come down. Well, that wasn't exactly what we had in mind, but, I guess it's a good lesson that whatever you think, it maybe in committee members need to be people that actually live here, year-round, I mean,
Yeah.
next time. What do you
Either
think?
that or know how to use Zoom.
Or Zoom, or use Zoom, but
I mean,
I understand that they some don't use Zoom,
Vacations, but
but that could be a stipulation, you either know how to use
Maybe
it
over
or
there, I can do them. I'm on the committee, I can do it all
You
for
go.
you, no problem.
And you're here,
And I'm
you're right
here.
so that's good.
I'll have them all wrote for you on the next meeting, no
So
problem.
hopefully Robin will be hooked up with us next week and we can, because we're gonna see if we can, I don't know, somehow move that along, maybe with the committee members that are here. Do you know if any other committee members are here besides you, or do they all
They're
went,
all
right?
gone, all of them,
Isn't that weird?
Oh, my goodness.
everybody left,
Okay,
yeah.
now I'm confused. So I got on here that Roxy Clatt was the chairman of
She
the
is.
Rules and Funds.
She is.
Oh, okay, you said Robin.
Robin, sorry,
Oh,
I
okay.
get Robin and
It's
Roxy
Robin.
mixed up
Okay.
sometimes. Yeah, it's
Another
Robin.
change.
Sorry about that.
That's okay.
All right, report from Planning Committee.
I'm trying to find people to join that committee, and it's not easy because nobody's here,
That's one thing.
for starters, and it's really a crummy committee to be on, but I really think we've come to the point where something's gotta be done. I'm tired of picking up dog shit from everybody else's dogs. I mean, that's crazy, I walk my dogs every night, and I probably pick up 6 piles of poop that are not from my dogs.
They're bigger than your dog.
Some of them are 17 times bigger than my dog.
Did we find out who that other dog belongs to, that great big
I haven't
huge
seen
dog?
him lately.
The husky or
I don't
the-
know.
No, the big one, the floppy ears.
Bloodhound?
Like a small
The Great
horse.
Pyrenees?
No, the
Oh,
bloodhound.
are you,
No, it's like
Just
a.
are you
There's
talking,
a bloodhound?
yeah,
Yeah.
are you talking about the bloodhound?
I don't know what.
He's in
kind-
cluster 5.
Yeah.
His name is Moose.
He's a big
Oh,
guy.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's
Allow a dog
a
that
big, he's
big?
a big bloodhound.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
he
she
sure is.
allowed dog that big?
No, his son is living with him temporarily, and it's his son's dog that's there.
Okay.
So he was moving in for approximately 2 weeks, and that 2 weeks has now gone much beyond that. And I believe, you'd have to ask Charlie, but I believe that he requested the application for his son to be there, because it has now gone past 30 days.
Right. Well, that's the one way to handle that, for sure.
Yeah.
Just make him a resident. really.
Well, because
It doesn't take care of the dog, but it.
No, but I don't think they're gonna stay anyway,
Right,
because
right.
the father that lives there is kinda getting tired of having the company, so to speak. So I kinda think it
think
won't,
it's a wolf.
Yeah.
last long, but it has been over the 30 days.
You ever see it?
So,
Yes,
beautiful. He is supposed to be filling out the,
It is
application.
beautiful.
Just he and his son, so they still they're not taking
Yeah,
up
I don't
any
know.
extra spots yet.
No,
at
because the
least.
son doesn't have a vehicle.
Oh, he doesn't have.
He rides
a car.
the dog,
No problem
doesn't
there. That
He
could
rides
be
the
a
dog,
problem.
yeah, you sure can. I mean, he's a really nice dog, he's a good dog, but boy, he is big.
Hopefully he's picking up.
And the
after
dog
a while.
is very
feet are the size of my hand,
Yeah,
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
humorous, but he's a sweet boy. He's a very nice boy.
That was the,
I don't-
Okay, so you're done with the
Oh,
Planning
Planning
Committee, we're
Committee.
No,
just
I'm
still
not
looking
done with it.
for,
I'm
Can I
just looking
ask?
for
Yeah.
members.
looking for members.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
I'm my mother's proxy here tonight. Why are you developing a finding committee? what's the point of the fining committee? Because
Well,
I
it's-
am the board
I'll tell
president
you.
of my HOA in Minnesota. We do not have a fining committee. We have a very specific system, and each offense, you get a letter, then you get this, 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 and this.
But they get
And
fined.
We
They
have-
get fined, but what is the point of a fining committee?
The committee is going to be established to figure out exactly what we need to fine for and what the dollar amount escalating up will be for each subsequent fine. or
What do
each
other
violation.
associations do?
I don't know what
You're
they
the
do down
representative,
here.
you manage other associations.
Right,
I'm
but-
assuming it's not the Wild West down here. What do other associations do?
You have to place a fine, you have to
Yep.
have a fining or a hearing committee, a grievance committee, whatever you wanna name it, grievance hearing. But that gives the homeowner 14-day notice to come to this meeting with the hearing committee and plead their case why they have not corrected whatever infraction it is. And the committee will decide whether to impose a fine or not on their ledger. So
Is that something that's required in the state of Florida?
it is.
Okay.
And it's a maximum amount of $1,000 fine, and
Okay.
you can only fine them one time. So even if they pay the fine, they can still keep going with the infraction, but it'll be placed, it's lienable. So you can place the fine, if they don't pay the fine, then there's a lien placed on there, so when they sell or whatever, it shows up.
But you're saying
Just-
it's only
just-
one time?
What if
Yeah,
they-
for
they
each
let their
infraction.
But
So
for-
if the infraction is, you know, the window's broken and they never fix it, so they pay the fine, but they don't bother to they can't get fined again?
Not for the
Same
same
thing.
thing.
So
And
they
there's no
just
other
pay it and they
lien.
just continue to be a
That's when
crooked?
you
Put
turn
the
it over
lien.
to the attorney.
Wow.
Put lien on it.
Does the
Yeah.
association have the authority to fix it and then assess the cost back to that person?
I believe they do, because I think we did that with the screens for cluster 4.
Depends on what the job is. By the way, just to be clear, it's not a requirement to have a committee. It was just suggested that we should have.
Yeah, I
But
mean-
if you have a committee, there's a bunch of requirements for it.
The challenge is that you are setting people up to basically be the police and
Right.
make them targets.
Well,
Because
that's
you've
one
got
reason
to
it's
find.
hard to find the people
Why
that want to
nobody
do
wants to
that.
be on
So
it?
that's why I asked,
Uh-huh.
why a finding committee? Why is it that people can't take a picture, report it to CNS and say, this is what I found, and CNS then acts upon that by sending a letter to say, you have basically done this, if you do not fix it or do not change your behavior, you are going to be assessed this fine.
We
have
can't
all
do
the-
that.
Can they appeal to CNS and CNS say, sorry, you're out of luck?
They have to go to it has to be through it's Florida statute, so it has to go through the hearing process.
Okay, so you can still have people who report this to CNS, and then you can have a committee of people to say, listen, we've seen it in action, you're going to be a fine, we're going to stand by this fine. So you need somebody from what, each cluster to step up
We
and,
need 3 people
You just need a
from
committee.
different clusters.
So
I know.
we do send the first letter, you know,
Yeah.
and say, you know, please correct this, you know, the board can decide if we want to send a second notice or if we want to send them directly to a hearing committee. So a lot of times the boards give a second notice, but usually until you threaten to send them to a hearing committee and $1,000 fine,
Yeah.
they don't correct.
yeah.
So once you start talking money out of their pocket,
Yeah.
that's when you start seeing, oh, we're correcting it, and that's when I get the phone calls and the emails
Yeah.
saying, okay, it's done, or you know, we've called the contractor. That's about the only time, you know, for serious offenders.
So you've
to-
seen it work.
Yes, it
When
works.
the repercussion is, we're gonna hit you in your pocketbook.
Yep.
So
Um,
is the committee to decide also how much money you get charged for
Yeah.
an offense?
Yeah, I think more or less
Where they
depends on the
begin.
offense, right?
Right,
Yeah.
Up to $1,000.
right,
Yeah.
right, but I mean, it's the committee to decide this infraction is $50, this infraction is
To suggest it
75?
really.
You would, set the standard, or just do $1,000.
And do you have, with other associations you work with, do you have what their structure looks like as a guideline for?
I've got one for the Florida statutes. I mean, if you want to,
I would like to see that, but my question is, if somebody doesn't pick up after their pet, and we have them on camera, okay?
It helps, I guess, right?
You got them
Any
on camera, they're caught they're caught. You know the dog, you know the owner.
Well, that
And you
helps.
say, okay, we're gonna hit you with a $25 fine because you did not pick up after your dog.
Okay, can I share something?
Yeah.
They're breaking a county ordinance.
Yes, they are.
Form that you can fill out
Mhm.
of the county that makes a complaint about people not picking up after their dogs.
Yeah.
And you can provide evidence on that form. And so you don't have to really deal with this as long as the county ordinance that you can turn it over to.
What kind of evidence you
Right,
talking
you have
about,
to do
Charlie?
an affidavit, fill
Photograph
out
or
a
something,
form,
or-
and take pictures, but yeah, the county will definitely act on the dog. Dog issues is a issue in every single association, I don't care
Oh, of
where you
course it
live.
is.
No, the thing is too, we do have that first,
What I'm saying is that you can turn it over to the county and you don't have to deal with it.
Yep.
So the county would
So the
address it,
dog
or are
stuff
they
doesn't
backed up
have to
6
be
months?
Take
fine.
pictures, see if you can get a
If you have a
photo,
picture of it and all
evidence.
that,
Yep,
and you
Find
send
it.
it to the county,
yep,
do they take 6 months to act on it?
probably,
That's my concern, because a dog dropping
yeah.
fine
I can't believe that
isn't
they,
effective 6 months down the road after they do
Especially
it.
if the person doesn't
Because
live
they
there.
may not even live there anymore.
I can't believe that the county just leaves.
I know of an
just take over
association
something
back
like
home
that.
See, that
that
seems funny to me.
when you move in, you have to give a DNA sample of your dog.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, we have.
I mean, it seems kind of crazy, but